Last night I was laying in bed, reeling, spinning in my little head, laying in bed, spinning in my head. Anybody else done that? I wasn't sleeping because I was getting myself all riled up because I was remembering various points of feeling harshly judged by other people, people who I cared about, people who I respected, and then overlaying that with my own judgment for myself and my experiences and my choices in life. And I was starting to feel really just getting upset and churning and angry. And then I had this sort of pop through where I went, wait a minute. The people who are judging me weren't fucking there. They weren't there. The people who judge me for the most difficult decisions I've ever made in my life, for the hardest parts of my life, were not there. They were not in the room with me. They were not there leading up to what happened. They were not in my head dealing with my own stuff. They are set apart, out of space, out of time, looking in with a very narrow perspective, very narrow, like a pinpoint perspective of my life, passing judgment on me. And what I do is I then take on that judgment like it's fucking gospel, and I'm up at night in bed churning and beating myself up over it. That was a pretty kick-ass realization. So I slept on it and it got better. Judgment is a result of not trusting oneself. All of us, without exception, maybe there are exceptions. There's very few exceptions. Pinpoint, right? Back to pinpoints. 99.9% of us are raised, conditioned, taught to not trust ourselves. Our inner guidance system is beaten out of us, usually not on purpose. It happens because the people who taught us were taught to not trust themselves, who were taught to not trust themselves, and on and back it goes through the generations. So this is not about blaming our parents. This is not about blaming our society. I'm not interested in blaming other people for my stuff and my experience, and nor should you be, because that's a surefire way to give your power away and stay stuck in your loops, in your mental stories that keep you out of your fullest, highest, most brilliant expression. No, we're not playing that game. But what we can do is acknowledge where this shit came from to give us some workable material to help us carve a pathway out of this nonsense. So judgment comes from not trusting oneself. The reason people ever judge another person is because they are projecting their own mistrust of their inner voice onto another person. And the reason that person ever accepts a judgment from somebody else who has no clue about the situation, pinpoint understanding, that person, me, accepts that judgment as gospel because we don't trust ourselves. So we're judging because we don't trust ourselves, and we're projecting that mistrust onto another, and we are accepting the judgment because we don't trust ourselves, and we're giving our power away in trust to another who doesn't trust themselves. See how this turns into a hot mess really quickly? So the antidote to the poison of judgment, to when you project it out or when you receive it, is to find your way back into your authentic core, to learn to trust yourself again. And here's the thing I want to add that's a really important piece of this. Judgment, self-judgment, judging others, it comes with a lot of shame, a lot of blame. And we all make decisions in our life the best we know how in the moment, with the tools we have, with the knowledge we have, with the self-possession that is available to us. And at different points in our life, that's going to be different. So if you have things in your past where you made decisions or you behaved in a way that you wouldn't today because today you know better, or because today you would choose differently for whatever reason. It does not behoove you or anybody else involved in that situation or not involved in that situation to hang on to self-judgment, blame, shame, and criticism, or to accept it from other people, because there is nothing you can do to change that experience. And what I need you to do is accept the experience for what it is. Accept the feelings that you have now. Ooh, don't fight, don't fight. Just let it be what it is. And then I need you to throw that up to God, to give that away. If there is something that you can do today to make right what you, in your core, perceive to be misaligned action on your part, go ahead and do it. Usually there's not anything you can do. And when there's nothing you can do, give it to God. Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Release it out into the universe and then come back into yourself and do your work to get back into your authentic core, to come home to self-love and move forward in your most expanded version. I hope this has been helpful. I love you so much. Thank you.